It is another dandy day where dreams become reality to live the life you want to live. That's how I'm going to start every video saying. I think it's kind of catchy. I think it's kind of cool when YouTubers or creators have like this catchy line they say in the beginning of their videos. So that's what it's going to be now. And it's kind of the motto of my life. But in this video, we're going to talk about, I'm mostly going to be speaking from my experience, and that is like finding what you want to do when you're like 19 or 18, you're coming out of high school and you don't really know what to do. A lot of people are telling you what to do, like your parents or your grandparents, and it's just a hard stage of life to go through, where the world kind of opens up for you and you don't know which direction to go to. Everybody's telling you to go in this direction. Everybody's telling you to go in that direction. But is it the direction you want to go through? And I'm just gonna kind of talk about my experiences with that, because I think the way my life has turned out is a little different than most people's. And what triggered this prompt is a comment I got in my last video. And that's from Spider saying, "Hey Nick, thanks for the video. It couldn't have come to me at a better time. I have to go to university to keep postponing military service, but I know I don't want to work a corporate job. I'm graduating with computer science and an AI degree right now. I wanted to ask what your AI project is that you quit, because that's something I would definitely enjoy doing, ? Would appreciate pointers because I want to take the summer break to break out of the inevitable path that I'm on." And it kind of just got me thinking of my time in my life when I got out of high school and just was so confused about what I wanted to do. And I'm not even sure I knew what I wanted to do at that point in my life. But I think about this, I don't know if you guys had this in school. I think this was in middle school before we went into high school, but we had to write in a binder just like really interesting questions, actually, what we wanted to do for our life, what kind of plans that we had. And I kind of forgotten about this binder until my stepdad brought it up to me. He said the question in the binder was, what do you want to do in your life? And my answer was, I want to make a lot of money, but I don't want to work a lot. And I think my younger self at that time knew more about myself than my 18-year-old self did. So I'm thinking back to myself in high school. High school, I would say, was probably the worst times of my life. It was so anxiety-filled. It's not that I didn't have any friends. Thank goodness I had friends to hang out with. But I was just so socially anxious all the time. I hated going to school. I just felt so contained. I just felt like I was in a little box. And I could feel the relief at graduation. It was almost like a switch that flipped when they called my name on the graduation thing. You know, you're going up, you're shaking the principal's hand, and they say your name. That was the moment. That was the first moment in my life that I felt free. That I felt the world was finally opened up and I could do whatever it is that I wanted. It's almost like I've gotten so used to the weight on my shoulders during my high school, middle school days. I just got so used to it. It felt like that was my life and I'd forgotten about the weight. But when they called my name on graduation, I could feel the weight just lift off of me. And I felt so much lighter. I literally felt like I was reborn. Like, finally, I can live life. I could do what I want to do. But then, other problems start to arise. And I don't know if they're problems, but they're just more questions pop up into your life. Then you start to think, well, what am I going to do now? Am I going to go to school? What am I going to do for the rest of my life? I have to get a job. I have to work. I can't stay working at McDonald's for the rest of my life, which is where I was working at that time, around that time. And I come from a very conservative family, at least on my grandparents' side, where my whole schooling life, they would always tell me, you have to go to college. If you don't go to college, you're not going to make it. Life is going to be hard for you. That's what they kind of instilled into their grandchildren's mind. And I'm telling you, they would push that into our minds. So that's kind of what I thought I had to do. It's what I thought I had to do, or else I would be a loser. So I felt I had to go down this traditional path and make college work with what I actually wanted to do. Well, what did I want to do? Well, I knew I was good with like graphic design, video editing. I'm really good at computers. I know my way around computers. So I was thinking about doing web development or something like that because I knew you could make a lot of money doing it. So I was always kind of in between going to this creative path or going through this very technical path, but both having college involved. Long story short, I decided to go to community college, and I remember the dread going through me as I am signing up for debt, signing my name on the promissory note, saying that you promise that you will pay them back. I could just feel the dread coming over me while I'm signing up for another school experience, and you can imagine how that can feel with how I felt about high school. It felt I was going back. It just felt like I didn't belong there. But yeah, I went to school for a little bit, but just not knowing the end point of where I was going to go. And that's kind of what my grandparents said. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. You don't know where to go. Just go through, sign up for college, get your general education done, and eventually along the way you'll find what you want to do. That's not promised. It's not promised that you will find your way in doing something that you don't want to do. This is why I'm always so surprised when people after high school, immediately they sign up for college. I just feel like, maybe taking a year or two after high school wouldn't be such a bad idea to kind of figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life, maybe. It's like, why do you have to jump right into college after high school? I guess some people would say so you don't lose that momentum of already being in high school and then going into college and still having that school education momentum going. I think it's better to just kind of take a break and just take some time to figure out where you want to go from there. I think a lot of people make mistakes where they go into college, go into all this debt for something that they are not truly interested in. After high school, there was a lot of self-discovery I had to figure out. And that took maybe 3 or 4 years before I figured out what I wanted to do. So yeah, I was in community college for on and off part-time for 3 years. I switched my major 4 to 5 times, going from creative to technical, and eventually I just got tired. I just got tired of doing something I am not fully into. I wanted something that I was very interested in, that I could put laser focus into. Not this, oh, maybe you'll figure it out, maybe this will be it. No, I wanted to do something. I don't care if it's something that I would have worked on for the rest of my life. Right now, I want to find what it is I am interested in right now, put laser focus into it, and be the best at it that I can be. And that's when I got in touch with one of my old friends. As a kid in middle school, we used to make YouTube gaming videos. That's how we met each other, is from just gaming. And we were both into being a YouTube gaming creator. Because we would see all these YouTubers getting their YouTube plaque, making a lot of money, having fun doing it. It just seemed like a blast. But it was so far from what we thought we could achieve at the time. As kids, we just didn't really take it seriously because it was just so far up there, we thought we couldn't do it. That was until we were both so tired of our lives and doing things that we didn't want to do. We got back into talking with each other and decided, hey, let's just quit everything. This is something we both want to do. Why don't we just take a year or two and just go hard on this? Put everything into it that we have. And I believe it was that day or the next day. I remember I was living with my dad and I just felt I needed to tell my parents or somebody that, hey, this is what I'm doing now. I'm going to quit school. I'm going to quit my job, and I am going to spend hours in my room working on gaming videos. And I was very anxious to tell my dad. I didn't know how he was going to take it, but I eventually worked up the courage to go and tell him, and he was just like, yeah, cool, if that's what you want to do. I was very surprised. Again, I could feel the weight lift off my shoulders. All the commitments and responsibilities have suddenly lifted off of me, and I felt like I felt I was flowing, in the air. I felt like I was jumping off of a cliff, and I was excited to see where I was going to land. And it was more exciting than anything I've ever done to that point. And I was looking forward to it. I was happy about it. And what got me fired up about this, ready to quit my job and leave everything to do this, was a story that my friend told me. He told me about this story about a war going on. I forget who it was, but they had ships and they were going to fight the people on the island. To get his people fired up and motivated to do what they were going to do, he took out a torch and lit their boats on fire and told them there is no escaping. At this point, there is nothing else that we can do. We can't escape. We don't have boats anymore. We have to conquer this island. And that's kind of the mindset that we both had during that time. And as far as it goes with me, eventually it did work out. We made a successful YouTube channel, both of us together, had a lot of fun doing it. It was one of the most exciting times of my life. It was one of the most best learning experiences, self-growth. It was a level up in my life. We did something that I thought could never happen. It could never be me, and made it to where, yeah, we are that people. We did that. And when you hit that point, it almost rewires your brain, where you start to know that you can do anything. Even if you think you can't, if you change your mindset, you can. And because I've done that, it just reinforced that even more. And eventually me and my partner, we split off. I did my own thing. I made my own YouTube channel. I grew that even bigger to what we both created. Made a lot of money doing that, and it just kept reinforcing that motivation and that confidence in me that I can do anything that I want to. And this is something that my grandparents would be totally against. And I remember there was a time when we were on this YouTube journey. My grandpa actually came to me, sat me down for lunch, and he gave me an offer. He gave me an offer of giving me $8,000 to go back to school and paying for my school so that I could finish college. And I just simply declined. I was just so confident in where I was going that I just said, Grandpa, I am so confident in what I'm doing now. I love what I'm doing now. I'm not going to do that. There's no amount of money that you can give me that would stop me from doing this. I mean, unless you gave me like $5 million. This is the price for everything. But $8,000, no deal. And I took that as a test. I took that as a test of my conviction and my confidence in what I was doing. I'm glad he actually did that, because I think that fueled me even more. That, hey, I'm willing to decline deals like this. I'm so confident in what I'm doing, I'm willing to decline deals like this. I'm willing to go against what my grandpa has wanted for me for years. But yeah, that's basically the story. Now, I'm not trying to tell you what you should do. I'm not trying to tell you to like drop college, drop work to do your passion thing. I think that's kind of irresponsible advice to give to somebody. I'm kind of trying to frame these videos as if I'm speaking to my younger self. And I'm not even sure how this relates to the prompt that I read out earlier. It's just kind of something that it reminded me of. Take from this what you will. I don't have any like prescriptions for you, but yeah, if you made it to the end of this video, comment the word banana in the comments below. I love seeing your guys' comments from the last video. It really shows me how many people made it to the end of the video and watched the whole thing, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.